So, welcome to the third and final day of National Media Conclave 3 that we are hosting at Sister Nivedita University. It's been 2 days. We've had prolonged sessions by people and what to say, from guests from various spheres of academics as well as industry. And today I have with me Ketan Vaidya. It's not Vaidya, which is written there. So it's Ketan Vaidya. Ketan has been a dear friend of mine. Ketan has been a journalist for almost 2 decades. Right now, he's into corporate communication. He is at a position, he's handling corporate communication of Mumbai Airport, Navi Mumbai Airport. So it's been a vast experience of corporate communication, core journalism, print journalism. He's been with US consulate, so he's seen diplomacy, uh, politics. So I thought that what could be best than to discuss politics in democratic Bharat, because today it is very important, the audience that is listening to us, that as I said on the first day, that we generally shy away from our democratic nature of our nation. We shy away from information that is related to the political scenario in our country. And we believe that just closing our eyes makes us into a position where, we are not important, but it is, you are so important, and why you are important is something that we're going to discuss today. So thank you so much, Ketan, for flying down from Mumbai. We had Mr. Sahil Joshi, and Ketan has worked with Sahil Joshi. So we were expecting him today, but he is down with fever. And that immediately I thought that I have to get somebody, and I have to get somebody from Mumbai. So Ketan quickly said yes, and thank you so much at the last moment saying yes to me, and of course getting the opportunity to visit Kolkata for the first time, just like that. So over to you, Ketan. My first question would be that we've chosen a topic like politics in democratic Bharat. And this topic was something that we brainstormed thinking that we will discuss this. So first thing that comes in your mind when we think about politics?
Well, when you speak about politics, the first thing that comes to anyone's mind is people and not politician. All three are P's, but people are at the core of politics. And what we right now see is, like in Bangla, you'll say Bhakti Puja. So it's more of the person or the charismatic leader taking over people. And people are at core of all that happens in politics. And right now we were just speaking with a common friend, and I was chatting and I was saying that for the first time I'm coming to this great city. And he said, oh, okay, I should have also joined this session because he's already a part of an important mainstream political party. And he said, so I said that, well, politics in democratic Bharat, your state has seen a more stable government. I come from a state which has seen 3 chief ministers change in last 5 years. So clearly, if you want to discuss the failure of ideology or perils of democracy, the challenges that have besotted democracy in today's day and age, then I think I make a good example. My state makes a good example.
But then I'm just interrupting in between.
Yes.
But we were also discussing that, progress doesn't interfere into the politics. So still we see Mumbai as a one-stop destination for best jobs, for best career. The standard of living is very high. And so why this? If it's an unstable government, yes, it doesn't affect the prosperity of the state.
So again, we are a brand school or we are a media school. So that brings us to another P, which is perception and positioning. And we were just meeting Registrar Sir and we were just having a chat there. So what makes an international city? I think Kolkata has it and I don't, the discussion itself is on the political subject, so I need not be politically correct in this discussion. But clearly, Kolkata has everything that an international city should have and has have. It has a Chinatown, it has a global presence, it has international facing this thing, it has history, it has legacy, it has it has everything that makes it really unique. Now, the point that you said, coming to your point, is whether politics is detached from development. Well, in today's day and age, when we see, and again, uh, this is a completely no bar open discussion, and as they say, Chatham rules apply. So what is discussed here doesn't go out, because then I can lower my guard and I can tell you what exactly happens. So,
Please.
so it's
I'm interrupting again because
Yeah, yeah.
Ketan can talk so much, and I know that for a fact. So I'm just keeping interrupting in between. That, see, the audience that we have today, I think they would want to know from your personal experience that, you being into so many stratas of media, whether it's Copcom, PR, print, TV, and again Copcom. So today what we discuss politics, in today our Bharat. So what would you want to share with this generation sitting here in Kolkata, West Bengal, where their exposure has been very, very little? They've been schooled here, they've been graduate here. So till the time they don't move out for their jobs or masters, it is their little world which they are living in.
Well, so I think, see, the oligarchy, when we talk about oligarchy and when we talk about the industry and politics coming together, then that is where the problem, the real problem arises. What has changed is clearly that the political parties and election commission, so these are two different entities. But when you talk about accountability of political parties, okay, so it is like, just take an analogy because the audience is more youthful. So take an analogy of cricket. So you have a BCCI at the center, and then you have Ranji and you have Dulit Trophy, and you have these leagues, okay, from where selection is done. Uh, it's not like BCCI at the center and they are selecting from every gully and Naka and Para and all that. That's not how cricket runs, right? So if you take that analogy and apply it to politics, there is complete dissonance between the way political parties function and the accountability and how do you say, the way they maintain the democratic ideals. Because what is required for a political party to run in a sound fashion is, one, they have to have a strong constitution. Then they have to have a national body, a convention body, and they have to have inter-party elections. Because election is not something that just general election and state election. There has to be inter-party elections. Now, what are we seeing? Regional parties are dissipating. Okay, what happened with the Paswan family? What happened with the Thakres and the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra? What happened with Sharad Pawar's party? Why is this happening? It's happening clearly because there are other interests that are aligned with politics. But political party as an institution, I was told in the earlier scheme of things, I think we had someone who works on RTI issues. Political parties are over and above the gamut of RTI. You had this whole electoral bond thing which Honorable Supreme Court struck down. What is electoral bond? There is zero accountability. So any institution, any person can invest in a political party, and the people who are the voters, who vote for an ideology or who vote for a plan or who vote for a 5-year outlook, they are not given any information whatsoever about who or what kind of vested interests are investing in this political party. So again, be it the electoral bond, or be it the kind of spending, or be it the inter-party democratic structure that needs to be there for a political party, there is no accountability at all. So, are we having a structure which from its exterior looks like a democracy, but within it is just an extension of Parivarvad?
That is what we wanted to actually deep discuss, is that we talk about democracy, we talk about how politics is all about people choosing leaders to build a democratic nation. So going deep into that, not going very controversial, but at the end of the day, as audience of media, as communication, I have a lot of faculty sitting here from fine arts, design, and it is always perceived that people from this field, have a conscious, a brain that asks question why. I was discussing yesterday with Kajori Sen, you know her. So she told me that, Meenal, what is happening to you? Are you going to your classes and thinking that, are you not unlearning things? When I go in a class and I teach media laws and ethics, and I laugh at myself because when I'm on ground, I hardly follow those ethics. What we see in a lot of cases, rape victims, their faces are being shown, their family names are being revealed. That is the first lesson that we learn, that when we go into journalism, we protect that. So how much, you control yourself, how far you go. So as media audience, but I believe that question why is very important. So in this way also, Ketan, in building up this Bharat, are we asking the whys? Why should this happen? Why should I vote?
Well, so very important question, and we'll come to the media ethics part later. But just ancient wisdom, there is a saying that is there in Sanskrit, and it says, "Vade vade jayate tattva bodha," which means that tattva bodh or understanding of a fact can only happen when there is debate and discussion. Okay, now on one hand, there are political forces and there are other forces at play that are scuttling the whole process of adda, as they say in Bangla, or the process of debate and discussion. But there is something very interesting. I was watching some reels, and there is something very interesting happening deep within. And what is that? Social media. Now, earlier you had media. I also happened to teach to some BMM students the history of regional Indian media. And then there is nothing to see beyond Kolkata initially. I mean, you guys have been the pioneer. Few people know that the first Hindi newspaper of the country was in Kolkata. The first Urdu newspaper of the country was in Kolkata. The first Persian newspaper of the country started from Kolkata. And of course, Bangla newspaper started from Kolkata. So this has been the pioneer bhumi of journalism, so to say, free thinking, so to say, discussion, debate, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Now today, and it's important that we discuss this here.
We've been called the city of Cholbena because you're always there, Cholbena.
Yeah. Cholbena. Yeah. So now what has happened is that you are in an age of algorithm. And you are in an age where if I have 5,000 Facebook followers, and even if I am मैं कैसे दिखता हूँ या दिखती हूँ वाला, even if I put that picture 10 times in a day, if I have 5,000 followers, then I qualify to be a channel in myself. So you have independent journalism institution. Each one is a channel, each one is a newspaper, each one is a media this thing. But then is it exhibiting the responsibility? Is it encouraging debate? Is it encouraging discussion? Is it encouraging the grey matter in whatever we do daily, day in and day out in social media? Another thing is how this whole monster operates. There is this thing called, I'm not a technical person, however, there is this thing called algorithm. And what is the algorithm doing? I was watching some other reel. So the algorithm gives you a silo. It gives you a comfort zone. Okay, so again, you are quite a diverse audience. Just for sake of explaining my point, the people on this side have, let's say that they are driven by one algorithm, and the people on the right side are driven by another algorithm. The people on one side believe in an algorithm that says that it's okay to discriminate people between region, religion, caste, and creed. The other side believe that no, secular and democratic India is the thing to be. Now, there are many intersectionalities. There are many things that are beyond plain and simple black and white truth. Okay, but the people in this side of the algorithm live in a bubble of sorts, so they don't want to hear any, however wrong it is, any alternative thought. And this side of the algorithm, they are fed through politics, through political parties, through vested interest, an exalted idea of a Bharat or of a India that never existed in the past, and it's foolhardy to think that it will happen in the future. But that algorithm drives their thinking, their thought, and I mean, okay, I'm not, and we have decided not to talk about sensitive incidents and topics, but a certain unfortunate incident happens, whether in this city, that city, any other city, and the kind of fake news that permeate the social media and the conviction with which really so-called educated, learned people consume it, believe it, and accept it is a big credibility crisis that we are facing right now.
No, fake news is, of course, fake news, what we call as misinformation, disinformation. So, of course, awareness is very important in that way. But then sticking to my, we are getting a little deviated from the topic
Yeah.
that we had, that actually when we talk of Bharat, what we are saying, politics in Bharat, so that word Bharat, India, diversity, unity, democracy. So people listening to us, the students of this today's generation, don't you think they should know that what is their Bharat, how politics is important there, how you should, again I'm saying, please ask why. Nobody wants to ask why. Isn't it important?
Absolutely.
Rather than, if somebody is asking why, I should ask why, no.
And that is what has happened with politics. And I'm glad I could have been like if our other friend who served in the corporate and then entered politics. But then his breed is a scarce breed now because politics is perceived as either your father or someone is in politics and so you are in politics, or you want
Politics
to be
is
corrupt and you are morally completely off the track, so you
Politics
are in
is
politics.
legacy and politics is corruption. That is
Yes,
what we
precisely.
perceive.
Whereas if you move out of 50 kilometers out of Kolkata or 50 kilometers out of Mumbai, and then you realize that how much politics just to get a ration card, or just to get an electrical connection, or just to get a simple thing done. Like I have covered the bird flu from ground zero, and I came out of my comfort zone of Mumbai. I went to Jalgaon, I went to the Adivasi paras and areas in Maharashtra. I covered on malnutrition and so many other issues. And then I realized that how much, say, a small government scheme, or how much getting a ration card, or simple things of life, how much a collector ki kacheri means to the people in the village.
And I
And
think
this
that
is
this
all
is
aligned
across.
with the panchayat and politics and all of that.
This is across. This is across.
So the amount of social change that one can achieve through politics is enormous. I understand that politics, like any other process, if you want to become a successful singer, then you have to do your branding and you have to do your bit. So similarly, a politician also has to go to the whole rigor of self-branding and positioning and all of
Promotion,
that is a
branding,
given.
promotion.
But then this very perception that anything, the P word is bad, is something that people should get out of. Students should get out of.
Anna-
Only then you will find a new breed of new thinkers in
Another
politics.
question which you didn't want to answer, but I want you to answer that since you've been into media for such a long, you've covered politics from ground. So there are students who are listening to us that when, we have this perception that journalism is all about standing in front of camera and actually giving a PTC or anchoring, but it is much, much beyond that, the study that goes beyond that. So if you could just brief these students that, why coverage of political news and why study politics is important.
As I told you that the life of our countrymen, or the life of the masses is driven by politics. Politics is not essentially what you see in movies or what you see churning out of your television sets a day in and a day out. See, it is essential to understand how your country is run, and it is essential for the people. I'll tell you from self-example to make things more easier. So I was there in active journalism till 2008. Then for almost 5-6 years, I went into public diplomacy. I was in the US consulate, and then I moved to the US embassy, and I was a human rights advisor, and I wrote reports and all of that. Then I came back to journalism. So it was almost after 8 years. You can call me the sleeping beauty of journalism. And when I came back, I saw that it had changed, and not essentially changed for good. I'll flaunt my scars Bangla and there's this kahavat jekhane bagher boy shekhane shandhya hoy. So I was what came in front of me was really weird, like the amount of holy cows. सीएम के खिलाफ नहीं लिखना है, डीसीएम के खिलाफ नहीं लिखना है, इसके खिलाफ नहीं लिखना है. See, there was always some invisible censorship in the room. Okay, but then this censorship had gone to another level. Earlier, what people felt was, okay, so this journalist is more righteous, this journalist is little corrupt, and this journalist, तो ये तो पूरा बिका हुआ है. Right now, you don't have to deal with individual members, because the entire setup, to use a common parlance, is कुएं में भांग नहीं है, भांग में पानी है. So it's, and I'm not exaggerating. So that's the kind of holy cows that have entered the newsroom today. And again, when we joined journalism, and it's not like we are not trying to sound like old.
No, we are absolutely not trying to.
कि हमारे वक्त इतना अच्छा था और
It was
पूरा
negative,
खराब हुआ है.
and it's still not very negative. But what I'm saying, that it's important for people to understand that why it's a very important tool which you have in your hand, and I think you should use that by asking questions, and your asking questions, of course, is going to build a
Like
better
two and a half decades ago, when we joined Aaj Tak, it was a basic fact that we had to do a package. What went into a package was
And I
a
only knew
positive
that
side.
I had to write good Hindi.
Yeah, you had to write good Hindi,
That's
and then you had to get both the sides of the stories. When I joined recently Mirror now,
Fact, what we call
Fact.
as fact.
there are no packages being done, there are no stories being packaged. So the basic of journalism, of taking both sides on board, has gone forever.
It's
And
lopsided.
it's lopsided, and it's just live journalism. Take a live view unit, report. Just juggle out information, just juggle out English, just juggle out Hindi or whichever language you are reporting.
And I'm just interrupting that now you don't have to make packages. One reel covers the whole story. 4 text, 1 reel, good music, story done.
Yes. Again, I don't want to make this room full of cynicism. But where is the...
that they listen to this.
Yes. But having said that, despite this gloomy picture, despite newsrooms driven by fast technology, we thought that speed would change news for good. We thought that speed will get more people into news. We thought that speed would allow us to efficiently present news. What has speed done? Speed has essentially just changed the character for what news stood for. But again, having said that, there were certain so-called hallowed individuals called editors in newsrooms. Now the editors को जरा थोड़ा ज़मीन पे लाया है social media ने, and there is a positive fact to it. So if there are well-researched students out there, I can see one student starting a YouTube channel right now, presenting facts in a crisp and interesting fashion. Good music, all right. Good presentation,
I'll
all
just
right.
give you one example. There's, I don't know name of that page, Live Happy or something like that. Every day this girl puts up a poster, a positive quote. Every day one positive post she puts about life, about breakups, about a lot of other things that, you know, how life is. And she has million views. So I think first, we are deviating from the topic, but then I would say that first, it is important what you are addressing with conviction. That is important. You should not just do because other people are doing. And on a positive side, of course, since it's been decades that we've been in journalism, but we are in teaching into journalism. But I think the flavor of journalism is to represent facts,
Absolutely.
to give news, and I think that is what we are here to teach, and we are going to teach.
And
The
this-
rest they will all learn on ground.
Right.
We don't have to teach
And this
them.
mad race of TRP and business agendas aside,
Now
if
this
that
doesn't
has
work.
that has impacted news channels. On the other side is this whole YouTube world that you can really explore. When we talk about democracy, it's also about your own opinions. And if your own opinions are scuttled by mainstream media, then mainstream media, leave it aside. Okay, it will change on its own. Maybe the changing fervor, the changing democratic values, everything is in change. Change is the only constant. And as someone said, that politics and diapers need to be changed for the same reason. So, so this is what active democracy is all about. But then I think the amount of power that students have in their own hands, and coupled with places, institutions like SNU, where you are getting editing and you are getting the state of the art technique. So you are learning the technique. The gray matter should come from within. And I've seen so many students from Kolkata, they are the brightest lot. So it's for you to conquer, for you to understand. See, social media is a monster, but you can tame the monster.
Yes.
And put it to good use, and put it to good use for democracy, where you can express, articulate the right opinion, and make people, politicians accountable. And as I told you, I didn't just
And make your presence felt that, see, I know this is happening, and please don't take us for granted. So if we use it in an effective way, I think it's a very, very powerful tool that we have. And one question I'll ask out of the contest, since you are here,
Sure.
that when, passing from Symbiosis, both are from same college. So once you pass from there, and today the journey that you have, how mature do you think that you are today?
Sorry,
Sitting.
come again?
How mature you think as a media professional you are today? What you thought and what you've reached these 2 decades of experience that you've had, the kind of maturity you've gained, your experience, if you could share. Because when we start our journey, it's different. But when we reach a certain stage after 2 decades, it's a different kind of experience that we had. Today, when I look back and I realize, oh, I did that, I had been so stupid. So I'm sure you would have such experience that today standing here, what has been your experience for 2 decades?
See, we were quite happy to get our 10,000 job, frankly, 20 years back or
I'm
2.5
again
decades
interrupting.
back.
He's my friend. I can't stop. So we just thought कि भैया पैर रखने को जगह मिल जाए. We don't want any salary. Even if it's like surviving on our own. So one good channel we get to just put our legs in, and then then we'll prove ourselves. So the story has changed now. The first step students ask, "Hey, package kitna hai?" So it's different now.
No, but see, don't have any regrets. Don't harp on your achievements of the past. मैंने ये किया, वो किया. Because things are changing and ever fast changing. And after 2.5 decades in media, one feels that it's difficult to keep pace with this change. So the positive that you guys have is, okay, there may be this big media institutions where everything is driven by TRP demands and business demands and so on and so forth. But you guys are, as they say, cyber natives. Okay, so this technology and this whole AI, again, AI, they say that, okay, the journalism jobs will go away because of AI. But I don't think they will go away, because AI will basically take from that information pool that is lying there. And who is going to create that pool? It is your gray matter that is going to create that pool. So technology is an enabler. Okay, the bridge cannot become the car. You are the car, you are the vehicle. And technology is just the bridge. So I think that is one thing. Then again, do not have any regrets. And I think keep
Please
skilling.
make mistakes. Please tell them.
Please make mistakes. And skilling and reskilling is the way ahead. So I think definitely.
I think
that
with
is-
time, how much you, please do not think that I know all. We are still learning today. So that is one thing that both of us have learned with time, that each day is a learning process. Same with AI. Every day we are getting new information, new tools, and we are learning also. In fact, I'm learning from my juniors.
In fact, when we joined Meenal, if you remember that there used to be these OB vans.
Yes,
It
that
was-
big,
of a
huge
size
OB
of a
van,
school bus.
like a bus.
And now there is a backpack called Live View, and she told me that your institute has a couple of live views.
Yes, we have live views.
So the efficiency that technology has brought, it's very easy to criticize technology, but the efficiency and the reach that technology has brought is enormous. And you do a podcast, you do a YouTube live, and maybe you will get connected to a Probashi
Yes.
who's staying in New Zealand and Australia, and then they will get into this discussion. So again, coming back and using that same phrase that he used, Vade Vade Jayate Tattva Bodha. So through deep discussion and debate is when you will reach some consensus. But what is at the core of it is debate, discussion, articulation, and again, the attention span. Attention span in this whole real world is increasingly getting smaller. So have this mental recess, have this small pauses, have this reflection, and who am I to tell? Because it is, see, this is where the renaissance, not for Bengal, but the entire India has started. So this is the city and this is the place which has guided India. And I think you are the ambassadors, you are the thought ambassadors for democracy and to become, to ensure that democracy becomes more energetic, more accountable, and more people oriented.
You talk very well. You can just think of one post, huh? Political post. You talk very well. So thank you so much, Ketan, for coming at SNU. So with this vast experience, I thought it is important that we bring this conglomeration of academicians as well as people from industry also. The Moshumi and Mrinal sir is there with us. They've been traveling since morning, thanks to the Bengal roads. So I will just wrap up today, and next session, hopefully, we look forward to. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for this christening of my name, re-christening of my name. I'm Vaidya, but I'm officially, in my first day of coming to this city, I'm officially Ketan Poiddo. Thank you.
That this is one example, perfect example that how media works. In fact, the schedule, the program which we arranged totally has changed, but we did not stop. And Minal ma'am has started the program in a way that we used to do in television, that actually there is no run order. We have to run according to the order which comes, right? So it should be a learning process. And I requested Ketan sir and Minal to stay back because can I have the felicitation kit of Ketan sir, please? And the AV, please. Request Honorable VC sir to come on stage, please. Thank you, Ketan sir. I would request Vice Chancellor sir to stay back on stage, please, sir. We have two more guests to felicitate, to honor, two guests, two distinguished guests who have reached our university after a lot of traffic issues. They have traveled for more than 8 hours just from coming from Shantiniketan to Kolkata. So they're very tired, damn tired. Still, we are privileged, we are honored that they have come to our program. We have with us Dr. Mrinal Chatterjee, renowned media academician, professor and regional director of East India campus of IIMC. And I would request Mrinal sir to come on stage, please, sir. Shobhik, AV, please. I request Mrinal ma'am to always also join. And we are also honored that Mrinal sir has planned to launch his new book, Understanding Media in New Normal Times, from our stage. So, Mrinal sir, VC sir, Mrinal ma'am, and all other guests, I would like to request all of you to come on stage to launch the book. I request all the guests to come on stage, please. I was just talking about Mrinal sir, and in the same journey, another guest of ours have suffered the same journey of 8 hours. So we have with us Dr. Moushami Bhattacharya, Associate Professor and Head of the Center for Journalism and Mass Communication, Vishwabharati University. And Dr. Moushami Bhattacharya is among us, so we would like to call her up on stage for felicitation. And I would like to call the convener of our conclave, Arindam Basu, please. Along with Minal ma'am. And VC sir, can you please come? Vice Chancellor sir, please. And the additional information is that the three persons standing here are all classmates and batchmates and friends for 30 years, me, Orindam and Moshumi. So let's move on to the next part of this valedictory session. We will now have a discussion program. We have with us Professor Dr. Mrinal Chatterjee, Professor Dr. Moshumi Bhattacharya, and Professor Dr. Uma Shankar Pandey. I would like to call upon all three guests on stage, and to moderate the show, I would like to call upon Professor Orindam Basu.
Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. It's almost evening, I guess. It's 4 o'clock. We will keep it short. I understand the presenters are waiting for the valedictory session and the certificates. It will not be a long session, I promise. But it will be a very interesting session. And I would want all of you, if you all want, you can interject and ask your questions also. The topic for the session is academics is no longer academic only. So what we mean by that, what we mean by when we say that academics is no longer academic, that means we are trying to build a bridge with the industry and make our students ready for the industry, which includes academics, by the way. Because education is going to be the sunshine sector for this country for at least the next 5-7 years. So there will be a lot of jobs in the education industry itself. So with that, I would go to Mrinal sir first. Sir, you have seen this, it's kind of this entire journey when academics was merely bookish. And now how books are important, are very important part of academics, yet hands-on experience is also important. If you could shed some light on that.
I have been a journalist before I joined academia. So I guess it's very important for mass communication students to get hands-on experience of journalism, public relations, advertisement, any which way, any which career you want to choose. You need to know what we call the tricks of the trade and rules of the road. Hands-on is absolutely important. And in today's time, with the digital technology becoming mainstream, and knowing technology is as important as knowing the theories and all. That doesn't mean theories lose their importance. They are important to understand what you are doing. And that makes you a better journalist. If you know why you are doing what you are doing, it makes you a better professional. And that's what I guess academics should aim at. Yes, give them a theoretical background, give them a good understanding of law, give them a good understanding of ethics, which is very important, and also train them with the equipments, skills that the industry needs today and might need tomorrow. So, for example, in today's time, AI is coming in a big way in all industries, cutting across I mean, it's no longer in silos. No industry can work in silos now. AI has demolished all those silos. So our students need to know, but they also need to know what are the limits of using AI. Where should you use, where you shouldn't do, what you should do with AI and what you shouldn't do. And they also should know the laws. It's a different matter that the laws relating to emerging fields of AI has not yet been framed properly, but it will eventually be framed. And they should also know about the legal framework as well to work as a professional and when necessary as an academics too. So the difference between academics and industry that used to be in say 20 years before, 30 years before is gradually narrowing. If it doesn't, then probably neither will exist. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My next question is to Moshumi, my dear friend, and a very senior academician as far as when we compare ourselves. Moshumi, like journalism in classroom is like teaching boxing on a whiteboard. Okay, so you draw that this is a punch and okay, this is the bag. So I have seen that you hold so many workshops in your department, continuously holding workshops. So how do you find that crossover? Where do you decide that okay, this subject needs a crossover, this subject I will go with theory? How do you decide when you do it? Because at the back of the mind, you have industry. I have had the good fortune of doing a few classes, and they are on my Facebook now, and I see them as joining industries. So, how do you do that? What is the practice that you have?
Thank you, Arindam. Basically, here I would like to mention one thing. What we have understood, I think all the academicians here, they will agree with me. And the prepper presenters also, I can see a few, most of them I know, I guess. So, brilliant presenters here. Anything in academics or journalism, anywhere, in any business, it starts with communication. And the most important part is developing your own personality. So we generally try to begin with that, how to shape your personality. See, I don't think we should not call anything, there are traits, positive, negative, many, but negative is the word, I think, where we always add that there are room for improvements. So there is something which we begin with. Then how do we incorporate what, what I understood from your question, this interfaces, and how do we do this? Mrinalda, very senior media academician, he is with us. As you said that we also began with studying books, then reading materials and all. Maybe that was there back of my mind, if you can remember, Arindam, our post-graduation days, like we used to attend only classes and classes. That was the norm, that was the practice. But at that point of time, you, Shoikat, all of you remember, I think, that how to change this, because that was not the thing which we were not that attracted, but we loved the subject through practice. And from that point of time, whenever we get opportunity to make syllabus or, like restructuring syllabus, we have tried to incorporate practical components everywhere. And I'm into this academia for more than 2 decades. One thing we have understood, the more we expose the students to communication, as I said, that personality development comes along with meeting lot of people also from different walks of life. So that's why that is something, and I'm very fortunate that my other colleagues in my department, they also believe in this. So that's why we have made it a point that we will call people from like almost every walks of the society, so that they talk to them. A few days before, there is a workshop in our department, like one student, we generally encourage young scholars also, because they can connect. And as Mrinalda said, that this new teaching methods, new this AI, the systems and softwares, lot of things are there, we are struggling. We are struggling with that. But the young teachers, young researchers, and I'm sure that in many of the paper presenters here also, they have incorporated this recent tools. So these are the things, everything, it requires lot of interactions. It's very difficult. As you said, that drawing and then teaching boxing, of course, that is impossible. Same here. So that's why we, wherever we have got opportunity, we have incorporated practical aspects, and we try to see that person has not, it's not that he has to be very, very, very skilled in that topic, but he can talk something, and we learn from everything. When I entered into this room, I was listening to Minal that we learn from, yeah, that I also believe in that. So in that way, and talking to many people and listening to them, so I think this way we can encourage, and this way we can incorporate things. And I would like to, conclude my, response to you. Yesterday in our seminar lecture, Mrinalda was taking a very interesting seminar lecture on comic art in India. And while delivering the lecture, Mrinalda told our students, you can make a cartoon or whatever you feel like, even meme, actually on me also. And we are very happy while while actually listening to his lecture, few of our students, they made brilliant memes. Mrinalda liked them a lot. And I think this is something, they were not ready for it, by the way. And they got confidence also. So I think so yesterday also I learned something, what Mrinalda taught us, that we can incorporate such things into academics. Thank you.
So, like, from what both Minalda said and Moshmi said, like, it's very important to push students into deep waters. Unless you push them into deep waters, they'll never know how to swim. There is a very old Samoan saying that when a captain tells that this is the high tide and we need to sail, a lot of people will start making boats. But when the captain says, this is the high tide and we will sink, they will start sailing. So it's a matter of survival, how we look at everything in academics, in our real life. Talking about survival and talking about academics, I would come to Uma Shankar, because other than the fact that we see him all over social media, and he is always traveling, and he's always writing, he's always putting up videos, which is, and I just in the last session I had said, those who were here, that we actually take notes from his videos. They're so informative. Uh, how important is research and academics going to be for this country in the coming 5 years? If you could throw your light on that, because a lot of people think that industry is the only way out.
Yeah, but I would also respond to some of your earlier questions as well. And this is directed to all the wonderful people sitting at the back. Some very good selfie takers here. Are you listening to us? Shuncho Shawai? Na? Can you raise your hand if you're listening? Some very good people, taking selfies and talking to each other and all. No, this is very important. Why we are talking like that? And this is something that we've been talking very long. Gupta ji is here, Durgesh bhai is here, and we have spoken about that as well. It's very, very important for us to learn newer and newer ways of keeping these wonderful, bright, young and men and women in the classroom. It's no longer what a classroom used to be 20, 25 years back. We had a wonderful teacher. He had a big fat notebook, and he would, give out those notes. Lazy people like us, we had friends who would take notes. We would do other things, while the note taking was on. But then there was no thing, we had to be in the classroom. There were no mobile phones, nothing. So we could, afford to, and those teachers, that was the only source of information. The teacher was the only source of information. Otherwise, we would have to go to the National Library or something. I mean, Pathshala was not there, Swayam was not there, MOOCs was not there, ICSSR was also not there, I guess. Or if it was there, we didn't know about that. Now, this is a challenge, making the classroom interesting. One of the reasons that I started making these videos, and I've spoken to Meenal about this as well, is to, go a flipped classroom approach. That the classwork goes home, and we come to the classroom, and we just have a discussion on whatever we have done. Because otherwise, these boring classes are killing the education. So how do we make it interesting? So we will keep on approaching Gupta ji and Durgesh bhai and Arindam and all to keep this thing going, the one Moshmili was just talking about. कैसे media classes को interesting बनाया जाए? दूसरे subject जैसे पढ़ाते हैं, media is different, and we have to understand that, and we have to keep updating that. NEP, has spoken about a lot of things. It speaks of, in fact, one of the important things, and we have to work on that as well, is the evaluation process. Pariksha is this one single examination at the end, and you evaluate the person on that particular thing. There are many things. There is peer-based evaluation. There is project-based. There are so many other things that we can do about it. So the first thing is that we have to keep on training ourselves to become more relevant to the present generation. Whatever you speak in 45 minutes. That wonderful, bright, young mind there has ChatGPT on his or her phone, and he can, just eke out 10 bullet points just like that. And he has the information. So we have to make sure that that person is taught how to make use of that information. So that is why it's not just knowledge itself, it goes much, much, much beyond that. Of course, research is everything. That's where, probably we'll have to go a bit ahead of ChatGPT also. Because ChatGPT again is based on the same algorithm, whatever you've been reading or whatever you've been watching. It's like that echo chamber kind of a thing that you've been asking those kind of questions, because they are also kind of economizing on their resources. So it is not going to use up all the 175 billion parameters to every question you ask them. It is just based on whatever you have asked in the past. So that is where, we come in. That is where, this experience comes in. That's why this human reinforcement comes in. But before that, we have to understand that education is not just about classrooms. Many of us are from a missionary school background, where inside the classroom was the thing to do. The fathers and brothers and sisters, they've ensured that, everybody was inside the classroom for that entire 5, 6, 7 hours. So that's probably how it has been. But now we have to make sure that it is as interesting as possible. The point is that we do not have an Indian teaching service where we have a training on this kind of a thing. All the refresher courses and faculty development programs are, pardon my words, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. So there's hardly a skill development. So we have to understand that it's not just knowledge, It's about building the right attitude, building the right skills, and that's speaking skills, that listening skills, that's being in the classroom skills. There are all those wonderful skills that you have to incorporate, and then the right habits as well. So the teaching itself has to evolve right from wherever we are. All the wonderful practicals are fine, but you will realize that the moment you ask a student to get out of the bench and do something, he or she is much more interested in that. So how we can make it more formal, how we can make it like everybody is doing it, so we have to do it. Otherwise it's very simple. I mean, we keep on making all our boring interjections and nobody listens. They're busy making selfies and all, and they're very good with that. But the point is that for us to stay relevant, we have to bring in these kind of things. So as you so rightly said, research is of course a very important option. It will always be an option, because we are in what is known as a risk society, the mental health problems, everything. The ecosystem demands a new kind of a version of ourselves every 1 or 2 years. So that's where probably research comes in. It will always be there. Job opportunities are very different from what it used to be. I'm not saying that. Manuel Castells said it 20 years back when he spoke of the difference between Fordism and Toyotism. So it's no longer that massive assembling, where you have massive factories, massive firms, everything. It's more project-based these days. It's more about your own value addition that you can provide. Probably those kind of 30 years, 40 years in a job and then farewell, and then you live happily ever after, etc. Probably that is going to be very difficult in these terms. And this is something that has been done by sociologists for long. They've spoken of the network society and how that would lead to less Fordism, like those massive factories, massive institutions, into these project-based, flexible, do-it projects and all that. So as involved teachers, we love giving long answers. So you make sure you remind us when we go beyond time. So I'll stop here.
We'll go, have a second round before we finish. যেভাবে উমা বলছিল এতদিন অবধি দুয়ারে শিক্ষা ছিল, এখন তো ফোনে শিক্ষা চলে আসছে। হ্যাঁ, because we have to, our phone is our best educator and our best spoiler. Having said that, I'll have I have three more questions, and these answers can be, don't take all three answers, by the way. Only give others a chance. Okay. Because Uma might take all three answers. So the next question that I would want to ask is, education undoubtedly has evolved, and so have the students. The student today in first year is not like us. So how do we keep pace? Because we are not getting younger, we are getting older. How do we keep pace with this young minds which are racing at the pace of asteroid? Means they are onto one thing, they finish it, they go on to another thing, and before you reach the second one, they are onto the fourth. Means their mind is racing and they are open to so many things. When we were students, we had one Chitrahar for entertainment. They have a Chitrahar of entertainments. So that too once a week, Friday, and that too if our homework was done. That too there was load shedding, and if our homework was done, luckily, then only we had a chance to listen to Kumar Sanu. So, okay, you are making Moshumi look old. She's my classmate. Okay, no, jokes apart, but sir, if you could talk about it, that how does a teacher keep pace with this young mind? These are very active people. I won't say volatile, but I would say very restless minds.
Young people have always been restless. Like I remember, there is one cave scrolling, or somebody has said, some 3000 years ago, যে ছেলেপেলেরা আমাদের কথা শুনছে না, ওরা অবাধ্য হচ্ছে, আর লোকেরা খুব বই লিখছে। 3,000 years ago. The same thing stands today also. Young people are restless and they should be restless. Being restless is one sign of youth. That's true. I'll go to neuroscience. Just for 1 minute. I was going through one research paper and it says there is a difference between the way young mind works and the older minds, like people of my age. Uma is still very young, your age. They work. They work. It's called, the young people, their mind is called fluid intelligence. Their intelligence is fluid. They can pick up skills very quickly. Like say if I start learning driving and my son starts learning driving at the same day, probably my son will start driving in 2 weeks, I'll take 2 months. Right? So fluid intelligence. But what people with age, they have is called crystallized intelligence, in which they can kind of look at a problem at a greater details. They can examine with greater details. They have wisdom to predict the future with greater clarity. That's what we call crystallized intelligence. So for any civilization to grow, for anything to grow, right, you need both. You need fluid intelligence as well as crystallized intelligence. Now the question that you asked relate to how do we teachers with crystallized intelligence and less of fluid intelligence show ways, teach the young people. It can be done, I did some thinking on that. We can do it in 2-3 ways. One way is, step one, ask them to do very many things. Push them to the limit, right? Throw them into deep waters. Let them swim. And when they cannot you rescue, that's a different issue. But push the limit. That's one. Second, like you share your wisdom with them in small groups. Why I'm telling you or foregrounding this issue of small groups, if the group size is very big, then the closer interaction engagement will not be possible. So maybe you can share your wisdom with them in small groups. Right? That's 2. And 3 is probably a collaborative kind of a system, where you take a project, you take some young people, you put some 2 people with age and that crystallized intelligence, and ask them to work. Like, so for example, I'm taking example from journalism. You give them a assignment of bringing out a magazine. You give them work, go do this story, that story, come with this photograph, that photograph, draw some cartoons, draw some illustrations, go one step more, do some infographics, use AI, do some infographics, stuff like that. Give them 10 tasks, 10 times that you require. Give them. Let them be very busy, right? But when it comes to editing, when it comes to editorials, then you have to sit down and explain why editorial are important, how do you write important, what are the nuances that an editorial has for the readers. You explain them. If we do in these 3 steps, probably we can engage with each other better, and probably we can teach students in a better way. That's how I feel. Thank you.
थैंक यू सर. सर अभी जो बोले उससे एक चीज़ क्लियर हो गया है कि मेरा इंटेलिजेंस है ना, वो डीप क्रिस्टल है, क्रिस्टल नहीं है, डीप क्रिस्टल इंटेलिजेंस. बिकॉज शोइकॉत नोज आई वेंट टू लर्न ड्राइविंग Uh, Perfect example, sir. I went to learn driving, she knows, 2 years back. So after my fifth class, the driver, my sir there, he said, sir, সবার দ্বারা সব কিছু হয় না, আপনার ড্রাইভিংটা হবে না। सबसे सब कुछ नहीं हो पाता है, आपसे ड्राइविंग नहीं हो पाएगा, सर अब छोड़ दो। So I realized that, so now I find what it is, my fluid intelligence is gone. Yeah, so I have got very deep crystallized intelligence, so students be aware. Okay, I'll go to the next question. Again, Moshumi, if you, how important is extracurricular in building the curriculum?
See, the person who founded our university, he always believed into this, like holistic education. And in our university, from the very, we do have a school also, everybody knows, we are part of Havana. Basically, of course, they do have a curriculum, but most of the curriculum, the major section of the curriculum is extracurricular. And we are very fortunate that in Vishwabharati we get that opportunity to do such experiments with our students. Yes, we do have to, follow the UGC norm. Durgesh ji knows, Ajay ji knows that we have to do that. So yes, the frame is there, but we do take lot of, space in that within the syllabus space, so that we can actually motivate our students for extracurriculars. Like I can give you one example, 2nd of October, Mahalaya. So that day, every Mahalaya, the students in Vishwabharati, they organize under the banner of Kormi Mondali, we have a section there, Anando Bajar. Like they have to make something and then they have to put up a stall and they will sell, and that the profit money from that selling, so they will be giving to part of Havana. There is a section that they will help the nearby villages and all. This is something which we have found every year. In our department, our students, they prepare our Vishwabharati Chronicle, our news magazine, and then we sell that. The students actually sell that. So in that way, starting from planning of the paper, then obviously I think you do this here also in your university. So everything, execution, everything. Yes, Mrinalda, this I can understand the kind of this fluidity in, learning things and then deep crystallization, what he said. But we have to keep a check on reporting also. At times, like they go for reporting casually, they just, collect some data and then they come. At times, the editors, they are also students, then they become very, very, very unhappy with us. That now we are doing the editing because the students, they are the editors there. So anyway, but they learn and designing everything, they do it. So basically, a media house, the way they bring out a publication, they do it. So, and they do it through, as extracurricular. Not only this, everything. We do organize a lot of potlucks in our department. In a way, potluck, it's what people may say, organizing a potluck is what actually? People will bring food and they have it. It's not like that. Actually, it's an event. When 5 people bring food, that is something. When 50 people, they are bringing food, what kind of food actually they are bringing? Whether dessert, whether the main course, whether the, starters, then plates, cups, that is an event actually. And our students, they do a lot of mistakes. At times, we teachers, we just stand there with our plates empty, and then suddenly we see that nothing is there. But there are students who keep something. They know their classmates, they know their teachers. So in this way, they learn. I gave you 2 examples. Extracurriculars are something which I have seen, like I hope all the teachers here, they will agree with me. It's not that everybody will become an academician and everybody is very good at studies. It can't be. In our classes also. But they do have other skills. So how will we understand this? How will we motivate them if we do not keep a lot of extracurriculars into it? So this is something For me, it's very, very, very important, and we are getting a lot of benefit out of it.
Thank you. My last question is to you. Okay. Uma, this is going to be a little, it's a tricky kind of a question, but I saved it for you because marks is important. For students to get a good marks, that's the ultimate goal of coming to a university or thing. But how important is marks in making a career?
Okay, so since it's a tricky question, how much time do I have? So that means 15 minutes, right? Thank you so much. Okay. Right, so firstly we have to understand that there has to be a rethink in the way the education has been for very long. And we know the colonial legacy, we know the reason why this education system was like that, and we know why, we have this examination and all that and everything. And we know why we have this kind of a classroom structure. Now, of course, you understand that, in our kind of a situation, this kind of a, fine. We just get distracted, no problem. So in our kind of a structure, this kind of a classroom was always there, and vocational was looked down upon. Oh, IITI korche, whatever. So vocational and that kind of a distinction was always there. That A, B, C, D, and right there at the bottom was vocational. Right there at the bottom was kheloge, koodoge, hoge kharab. And even our national policy, there was no sports policy at all. It was comma, sports. So probably that was one of the reasons. But we must understand, and I just spoke of that, about the risk society. I spoke about the modern day challenges. And are we preparing our young people enough for these modern day challenges? No. And that is where, all these questions of curriculum and co-curriculum, extracurriculum, because even the NEP document talks that this distinction should not be there. This distinction itself is a problem. Arey yaar, wo to extracurricular, wo to thoda sa hoga. And we remember, Jumur is there, Minal ma'am is there, everybody is there, and we've had such long discussions that every paper should have that tutorial or practical and all that kind of a component, so that we can make it easier for students. What that means? This means that we want to break down this barrier. And just a small piece of statistics. Which are the two states in terms of percentage where the private tuitions are at the highest? Which two states in India? One, of course, is West Bengal. Which is the other state? Tripura. So everybody, this is quite a Bengali thing. That private tuition kache padate hobe. We have to send to a private tutor, karon bhalo number na pele ar life e kichu thakbe na. We have to get good marks. So this is something, which has been there. It's there as a background. It's there as everything, and that is the be all and end all. Amar chile 98.8 page, Amar 98.6 page. This is like just on the gradation. That's how your success or failure as a parent is. That whether your child has gotten that much marks and all. So I think that cycle also has to break in subjects like ours, because of course that was important at one point of time when. In our case, say for example, I'm 96, 98 Calcutta University batch. If you did not get 55% marks, you were not allowed to sit for UGC NET examinations. And that took away a lot of, chances from you. So if the teacher was angry at some student, he would ensure that student would get 54.5%. So that student will not get, over that. And that is why, we had all these questions of continuous internal examination and all that. And we've been thinking on those lines. First of all, let's, turn over the classroom and make it more interesting. We once with Meenal, we also spoke to a registrar that whether flipped classrooms could be a part of your curriculum. With your board of studies also, we always spoke that, along with certain things, let's tell them that this is how it has to be. And I will take it one step further and say that this evaluation process has to change from what it is. I mean, one of the processes that I love talking about, I don't know how that can be fructified, is peer-based evaluation or peer evaluation, where you make sure that, there is some kind of a, structure and where you're having all that. So, of course, marks are important to a certain extent. I mean, we changed to grades and CGPA, SGPA, whatever. I mean, I don't know what you call them. But only to a particular extent, and not in our subjects. In our subjects, it's the profile that you're creating. It's the work that you're creating. A lot of wonderful people, including, people at the highest levels, they were not very good students. Why? Because I know I've worked with them, in school and all. But they are doing brilliantly well. So creativity is not measured by these marks itself. But itself, I mean, hats off to Arindam Da for this creative way of holding a session. Because we have to, kind of make this input so that, we have these creative sessions where we are also, creatively answering. We sit back and there is nothing to read for, and we are thinking on that. Because the more we make our minds work, বিখ্যাতজন বলে গেছেন, আমি বলছি না, ভাবতে শিখতে হবে, ভাবা প্র্যাকটিস করতে হবে। সেই ভাবা প্র্যাকটিস করার জন্য আমাদের সিচুয়েশনটা ক্রিয়েট করতে হবে। भावा प्रैक्टिस करना मतलब सोचने के लिए प्रैक्टिस कराना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि लोग सोचते नहीं हैं. So this is very important that we make people think. We make people, not just, memorize questions and answers, not just memorize those points, write it down on a paper, get 90% marks, and then not live happily ever after. So probably, and, keep talking about, अरे कुछ पढ़ाया नहीं यार मेरे कॉलेज में, यूनिवर्सिटी में, ऐसा ही. So this is how, we have to stay relevant. Many journalism schools are facing a problem. Thankfully, because we have such a wonderful situation here, this university is not facing problems, but many friends elsewhere they are facing. I don't take names. Journalism and mass communication is going through, education is going through tough times, very tough times. Government jobs are not there. People who are passing out, we don't get them jobs in print industry or the media industry or all that. We have to, look for other opportunities. We have to look for project-based opportunities, etc. And that's where, we need more and more sessions, creative sessions, where we think of the answers. We think of, how to work at it. Durgesh ji is there, Meenal was there, and we had that discussion. Mrinal da Moushumidi was also there. We had that wonderful discussion in Darjeeling, where we were discussing about how to make, all that interesting. So with the help of Gupta ji and his friends, hopefully we'll have many more of these discussions, so that, we can have something very solid and we can see that change. Because unless somebody does it, there will not, it will be very difficult for, people to just have a small way of doing it. It has to have a kind of a threshold where maybe 10% people are doing it and others follow it. So it can be flipped classrooms, it can be role plays, it can be, other ways of doing it. It can be other ways of, incorporating project and all that. But it has to be there. We have to realize that these challenges are real. And if we don't address those challenges, okay, thank you for the extra 5 minutes. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
To
so wanted to
answer
say.
your question, I can tell with responsibility, with my 26 years of teaching experience, marks at the end of the day actually do not matter. What matters is what you have between your ears. यहाँ क्या है वो ज़्यादा मायने रखता है ना कि आपकी पेपर में मार्क्स कितनी है. Yes, नहीं देखता है. Yes, at the beginning, at the entry level, probably because they have so many number of applicants and they have to pick up probably 5. So they have to make a system in which only less number of people come up so that they can interact with them. And that's why 55%, that's why 60%, whatever. But when at the final interview or final, when it comes to taking you for the job or assigning you for a job, for a project, it's what you have between your ears. It is your attitude, knowledge, and skill. These are the 3 primary things which determine whether you are getting a job or not. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll end our session here. Just a final word. what we, it's the summation that words are the most important thing that we have. It's our weapon, it's our escape, and it's our way to, it's our passport to success also. I would finish with a couple of lines from a very favorites. Oh yeah, uh, a, yes sir.
I know it's very late, but I will take only 2-3 minutes because here comes the question of marks. I will give you from my example, personal example. We had a class of 90 students. And let me tell you, some of them got into IITs. In the beginning, ठीक है, fine. Then we thought that now we are nowhere. But I can prove statistically, those who were left, those who couldn't go to IIT, they are much, much better than those who went to IIT. And I can name and I can tell you their profiles. There was a student who was a student of commerce. So he couldn't get science. After 10th, he couldn't get science, but he wanted to become a pilot. But since at that time, the minimum qualification was only 10th class for pilot. And let me tell you, he is one of the best pilot in Air India. I can keep on giving you examples till today morning. I can give you examples. Those who didn't get good marks, they are doing much better than people who got the marks. When the classification was done, top 30 students went for sciences, next for commerce at our time, then humanities. And those who opted for humanities, most of them became civil services officers, and we were standing in front of them. So this is, where it is basically what Sir has said, what you have here. It's your action. So believe me, marks has only entry level, but that is not the end of the road. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So I will finish with 2 lines from a very famous song. My words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the well of silence. Okay, so it's Simon Garfunkel's very famous song, Sound of Silence. But words are what we have with us, and it's our vehicle to success and our passport for success. Thank you, lady and gentlemen, for such an engrossing session. Now we will head on to the next chapter, and Shoykot, if you can kindly take over.
Thank you so much, Professor Mrinal Chatterjee, Professor Moushumi Bhattacharya, and Professor Uma Shankar Pandey, and of course, Professor Arindam Basu, for a fantastic and interactive round of discussion. Now, before moving on to the next part of our valedictory session, we will do a small formality. We have with us Mr. Debjan Pal from Berlin Burger. Berlin Burger is our food partner for all 3 days. So we are thankful to Mr. Paul. And I would like to call our another guest, Mr. Ketan Vaidya, please, sir, on stage to felicitate Mr. Paul.
You intended to call a foodie to felicitate? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Paul, for being with us for 3 days, and thank you, Mr. Ketan, for being with us. Now I would hand it over to our 2 dear students, Rupsha and Shimonti. Please come on stage for the next phase of the program. And I would request all of you to give a big round of applause for 2 young kids. They are doing the anchoring very well for the last 3 days.
Thank you so much, sir.
Now, this is a very special segment for us students here. Before we move on to our next program, I would like to announce the launch of our departmental news portals, one English and another Bengali, formed entirely by the students of our department.
Well, it gives me a great pleasure to announce the launch of the SNU Post, our university's English digital newspaper portal. A round of applause for this forever launching newspaper portal. Please, sir, a round of applause. This platform will serve a voice for our students, providing them with an opportunity to engage in journalism, express their viewpoints, and contribute to campus life in meaningful ways.
Next up, I am excited to announce the launch of Shomaroho, the Bengali digital newspaper portal created by our very own students. This initiative marks a significant milestone, offering a platform to explore the vibrant world of journalism while connecting with the essence of Bengal's culture and contemporary issues. Let's have a round of applause, everyone. I now invite Professor Arindam Basu and Professor Shoikat Mojumdar on stage, who have been the brain behind this initiative, while the students were the heart. Please share a few words, sir.
So I think we have got into 59 seconds. SNU Post has been with us in the physical form for a long time now, but we decided to go digital because that's easier way to disseminate to everyone. And today we launched the first page of the digital paper. The paper will be uploaded into our Chronicle page and also our website by Tuesday. So we have 32 seconds left. Please, Shoikat, finish.
Now, sir, we would like to call upon Vice Chancellor sir on stage for the formal launching. তার আগে বলে নিই, সমারোহ আমাদের বাংলা ম্যাগাজিন এবং এটা আমরা ওয়ার্ল্ড ম্যাগাজিন ফর্মে শুরু করেছিলাম, সেটাকে এবার ডিজিটাল প্ল্যাটফর্মে নিয়ে যাচ্ছি এবং আমাদের স্টুডেন্টদের কন্ট্রিবিউশন পুরোপুরি, তাদের জন্য একটা বড় রাউন্ড অফ অ্যাপ্লজ চাইছি।
স্টুডেন্টরা কি একটু কাউন্টডাউন করতে পারে আমাদের সাথে? 5 4 3
Yeah. So it's 3 days. We don't know how it passed away. So it started with huge rain and it's ending with also, I think the atmosphere looks like that it's going to rain. But during this couple of days, we had this particular galaxy of our speakers, experts in the field of media, journalism, and I'm really indebted to every one of them. But I just wanted to mention that the teamwork which has been done by our School of Journalism Mass Communication, we can give a big hand for them. And you know that the thing what comes out as one of the major outcome of this, if you are in the first day, you know that the last year's proceedings was being published, and that proceedings itself is such a valuable book, and I'm sure that 24 book is going to be much valuable because it has got many more number of papers as well as I think it's 42 different colleges and universities joined us in this program in the 3 days, which is something which is very important. And also galaxies of the eminent speakers like all of you who are present today and all the other days. But I think one of the outcome I find that looking at this, because you know that we talk quite a bit of digital media and this, the importance of this digital media, how it is coming up, the challenges with the regular media. And these are the two efforts taken by the department itself. And I'm sure that through you all, everybody will know about it. And I really want to thank the organizers for this Shamaraho, the Bengali one, where there are a lot of scope for you to reach to large number of our student community. And the SNU post was there already in the print version. Now once we have this digital version which is launched today, again the question comes about how we can distribute it to the world itself. And right now we have a huge networking system with large number of global network. In our global network there are large number of universities with whom we have a very good connection and memorandum of understanding. And I don't know whether you all know about it, that one of the students from mass communication this year has been selected for the Erasmus Fellow. So that is one thing which is very good, and that's from the first in the Eastern India. So these are some achievements which are at the back of the effort given by our faculty members. So thank you, the faculty members, and I really want to congratulate them.
We'll just announce the names. You can distribute the certificates.
So I would like to call upon the paper presenters who are present here for the certificate. First, Dr. Amartya Saha. Our very own Shobhik Shur. Shobhik Shur. উৎসব গাঙ্গুলি, কাজল দত্ত, প্রতাপ মান্না, মিস রিমা দে, তুলিকা চ্যাটার্জি, সৌম্যপ্রিয়া বোস, এস আর অশ্বিন, সোমা ভৌমিক,
I have to rush to a distance place right now because there is one program organized by the students from Sundarban school, where the Sundarban school kids are actually, that school is actually, we are funding that school and they are actually today having a program, so I have to rush. So I am very sorry that I could not be present over here for the full time. Thank you. Namaskar.
Now may I call upon Ajay Gupta ji on stage please for distribution of the certificates. Sir. Anisha Roy, Dr. Sujata Mukhopadhyay, Kothakoli De, Priyanka Chakraborty, Srija Haldar, खुशबू शाह, प्रसून विश्वास, Meghna Roy, Shornendu Dam, Ivy Ganguly, Upali Mitro, Saurabh Mukherjee, Megha Nath, Rishi, our own Rishi Shah. Megha Nath, Rishi Shah, Meghadeep Kaur, Shubhajit Nondi, Oishwarya Chatterjee, Rohit Roy Chaudhary, Shamata Chakraborty, Rupankar Saha, thank you Ajay sir. Thank you Ajay Gupta sir. Now I would like to call Durgesh Tripathi sir to come on stage. But sir will also come. Kotha ko lide. Jennifer Shaheen Hussain, Devorshi Biswas, Dipannita Shil, Farzana Yasmin, Bonani Paul, Shudesha Dash, Samira Voy, Kaushik Kumar Ghosh, Ishani Dash, thank you Durgesh sir. Now sir, can you please come on stage? Sir, please. Rishita Banerjee, Kuntala Sarkar, Dr. Nandini Ghosh, Parikshit Sarkar, Chandamani Dotto, S.R. Ashwin, our own Jhumur Dotto Gupta.
Have we missed anyone who's sitting here and we missed out the name? Ananya? I didn't find these names. I did not find Ananya's name. Just give us 1 minute, we'll just cross check. We didn't find these names. I did not see these names. Just give me 1 second. Okay.
I'm calling the names once more.
SR,
Ashwin.
Ashwin, Chandabani, Parikshit, Nandini Ghosh, Kuntala Sarkar, Rishita Banerjee, Ishani Das, Rohit Ganguly, Upali Mitra, Ivy Ganguly, Sharnendu Dam, Meghna Roy, Proshun Bishas, Khushbu Shah, Shomopriya Bose, Nafisa, Priyanka Chakrabarti, Anisha Ray, Shoma Bhaumik, SR, Shomopriya Bose is again, so I don't know. Tulika Chatterjee, Reema De, Utsav Ganguly, Kaushik Kumar Ghosh,
This is Shamprita Bhai.
Samprita Bakchi. Okay. Sir, please. Sir just had one. that is.
Samira Bhoy, Rajesh Kumar.
Samira Bhoy, Rajesh Kumar. Samira Bhoy, Rajesh Kumar? No. Wait. We are announcing. Sudesha Das, Farzana Yasmin, Anisha Chando, and Deepanita Sil? No. Joydeep Mukherjee is not there. Devarshi Vishwas and Indrani Naskar. Moshami ma'am, request you to please come on. Moni Kinkani is not there. Moni Kinkani Basu, Shinjini Das, and Rupankar Shah. Rohit Roy Chaudhary, Aishwarya Chatterjee, Shubhajit Nandi, Meghdeep Kaur, Anirban Shahu, Vidisha Haldar, Rituparna Sharkar, Trisha Das, Devdatta Mitra, and Avira Chaudhary. Can you please raise hands who missed their certificates? Orindam, can you just figure this out? Outsiders are there? Anybody outside SNU? And we'll do that at VC sir's room. So, sorry for this. All are from fine arts.
Yeah,
That entire lot is not there.
and also Shagota.
I think one set is missing.
So there were 3 sets. Please go and check if there is a third set. The third day set is completely missing.
Because I signed just 1 and 2. I did not sign 3.
The third day set is completely missing.
আমি কিন্তু দুটোই সাইন করলাম just give 2 minutes huh oh yeah, I'm ready. I just signed 2 sets. I remember.
But I made 3 sets.
We will just announce this coming next copy. When? अरे भाई August next conclave টা কবে? So since VC sir is not there, I would just like to take attention of everyone here that the certificates that are missing, we are trying to figure out. We'll distribute it. Please don't worry. Sorry for this inconvenience caused. And just to conclude on this, that every year when we plan this conclave, first thing, the challenging part is to decide what topic do we choose, how interdisciplinary we make, because we want something that today we see. We have fine arts, we have English participating, we have from sociology, we have from engineering. So I think today the world is interdisciplinary, and it's time to tell people that media communication does not constrain to just one-time journalism standing in front of camera and giving a PTC. It is much, much beyond that. It has grown its wings, it is spreading, and it's important that people understand this importance. And till today I have not found that any candidate is taken seriously when this person comes from journalism, mass communication, fine arts, design, social science, and there's a perception that the intelligentsia box lies behind only for people who go into the technical course. And I think it's time that we break this myth, because maximum AI work is being done in media communication. In COVID, everything stopped, but we did not stop. And we proved the world that we are there to tell you what is happening. Social media, of course, comes in our kitty. How to handle social media? Again, we had this analytics, we had so much. Google showed us the way. So I think it's time that we tell the world the knowledge that we have, and tell that please give us a table to speak also. So that is the challenge that we want every time to face. And we want people from every state to come and just join hands and tell this jointly, because it is important that we jointly take this initiative rather than, it's being state-wise or region-wise. So we had across from Delhi, from Mumbai, from South India, from North India, because we all want to say this thing, that creative minds are best minds, whether it's technical or academics or industry. So thank you so much for all 3 days, whoever is listening to us online and offline. The next year, I would like to announce that we would be having the 4th National Media Conclave on 25th, 26th and 27th September. I think it coincides with the same days that we have. And this time, hopefully we will go international. So please keep blessing us. And we are planning to come up with a book in January and February itself, because it's a vast task that we have to do. We have to follow up for the chapters and papers, and it takes a lot of time. So we are planning, and once this 3rd publication is there with us, we would want to send it for UGC care. So please bless us and keep supporting us, because it's a private university. You know the challenges that we have, that every day is a proving day for us. And there I'm so thankful for the team that I have. And one mention is, of course, Arindam Basu, the convener. I think he sleeps, drinks, works about this conclave a lot. And I don't know, there's no leader over here. I think it's a teamwork that we have. That is what we believe in, because legacy is only created when a team wins. So a single person cannot become successful, or a single team cannot become successful. It's a teamwork. So we have a team which I think Shonku Bose was telling me that day that, I'm that kind of person in front who tries to be invisible. Because I think invisible leadership is very good. It's very good. So until unless they don't force me, I don't come out and speak much, because I think that they are very senior to me also. Much senior to me. So I'm just learning. I'm learning from my students. I'm learning from them. And thank you so much, team. It's Team MJMC. Now we've changed the name from Mass Communication Journalism to Journalism and Mass Communication. So thank you so much. Please follow our page. Keep blessing us, and meet you next year in much, much bigger way, better way, more collaborations. Looking forward to more collaboration and guidance, because we're just 5-year-old. We are stepping into 6 year. So not to be very, say that we know all, we know nothing. We are just on the ground. Please support us and please help us to grow further. Thank you so much.
Now, only one task is left, that is the formal vote of thanks. I would like to call Arindam on stage to offer the formal vote of thanks.
Acha, before we close the session, this year's conclave, my sincere apologies to the participants who did not get their certificate, because there is still the third day certificates lying with one signature left. So the signatures would be done and it would be given to you, as Minal said, in VC Sir's office. That's number one. Number two, huge round of applause from the people who are here, to the participants, without whom this conclave is meaningless. This conclave is because of the paper presenters, because of the scholars, the professors, the teachers, the students who have actively participated in making this conclave a success. I would like whoever the volunteers are, to all of them, for them to come up on the stage, please. The students, please, all of you come on stage. And if all of you, please come on stage. Please, Monish, Rupsha, Shamunti, Adla, Jara ache, shobai esho stage. All of you, Chronicle team, full. Srijita, come on the stage. Minal, can you sit in the middle? Deepan, focus kore ne. Mayuri, come. See, this is the secret of our success. These are the students who have made us look good on all 3 days. So a very big round of applause to them, and come and we'll have a group picture with them. Ball. পাওয়া গেছে? ঠিক আছে, আবার লেখা দেবো, ঠিক আছে। Amartya is a fabulous photographer that I know, for sure. Thank you. With this, we formally drop curtains on the third National Media Conclave. Please don't go. I know you all are a little disappointed, but just to make it light, Oyon is here. Oyon himself is a celebrated musician, and he's going to put in 2 performances. So let us listen to Oyon and then move on. So we'll have a musical ending to the whole session.
Hello, 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 hello. First of all, thank you so much for inviting us over here. We are so honored to be present on the stage of this wonderful event. Uh, Today I would like to present two very classic compositions from two masters. Okay, one is David Gilmour of Pink Floyd, and if we have time, then one classic from Gary Moore. I would like to present. We both like to present. Hope we will pull these two sequences of good. Let's try. And thank you so much, Arindam sir, Minal ma'am, and the team of Mass Comm and Journalism of SNU. Thank you. So let's begin. Where were you when I was burnt and broken? While the day slips by from my window, watching. And where were you when I was hurt and I was helpless? 'Cause the things you say, 'cause the things you do surround me. While you were hanging yourself on someone else's words, dying to believe what you have. ওখানে আসছে না, একটু করে দাও ট্র্যাকটা, আর ট্র্যাকটা শুনতে পাচ্ছি না। So next up, it is Still Got the Blues by Gary Moore. Used to be so easy, still my heart away. I found out the hard way, there's a price you have to pay. I found out the love, no friend of mine. I should have known time after time. So long, it was so long ago, but I still got the blues for you. Used to be so easy to fall in love again. I found the hard way, it's the road that leads to pain. I found out now, the love is not a game. You are playing to win it, but you lose just the same. So long, it was so long ago, but I still got the blues for you. So many years since I've seen your face. Here in my heart, there's an empty place where you used to be. So long, it was so long ago, but I still got the blues for you. Though days have gone by, only things I know, I've still got the blues for you. Thank you so much.